Good morning, children. Today we are going to start the history lesson, that is chapter 13, Democratic and Nationalist Revolution. Okay, so first of all, today we are going to discuss about the introduction, then Glorious Revolution, then American War of Independence. So democracy, when you are thinking about use the idea of democratic form of government and the fundamental rights and all these things, we this kind of democracy was not there in the earlier times. Countries were ruled by the kings, okay, or the emperors. So gradually what happened in Europe, particularly in England, was ruled by the king of the Tudor dynasty. England was ruled by Tudor dynasty. Write down. England was ruled by Tudor dynasty. Tudor dynasty. Okay, England was ruled by the Tudor dynasty. At the beginning of the 17th century, at the time, the Pope was the head of the Roman Catholic. But the Tudor king refused to accept the authority of the Pope. They thought that England should be independent of the Pope and the Roman Catholic. So, at that time, when the Tudor king was ruling over England, the Tudor kings, they refused the powers of Pope and the Roman Catholic people. Okay. Soon, another new conflict set between the parliament and the king as to who was the more powerful. So, in England, king was there and parliament was also there. So, who is more powerful? There was a discussion started and a conflict was also started. Okay. So, now we are going to discuss about the Glorious Revolution. What is that? Glorious Revolution. What is the Glorious Revolution? In 1603, James I of the Stuart dynasty became the king. 1603. Write down. James I. James I. He belonged to the Stuart dynasty. Stuart. Belonged to Stuart dynasty. King of the England after the death of the last king of Tudor dynasty. I told you that in the 17th century Tudor dynasty was ruling. After the Tudor dynasty, Stuart dynasty came. He did not want the parliament to question him. He believed that the absolute power of the king were given by the God. So, this king, James I, he said that the emperor, the king of England, they got the power from the God. And the parliament has no right to ask any questions to them or him. So the king ruled by the divine right. This was called the divine right theory. This is called divine right theory. What is the divine right theory? Stuart dynasty king James I thought that the kings, they got the power from the God and they are ruling it. That is the divine right theory. Therefore, he believed that the king should not be controlled by the parliament. So, parliament has no right to ask any question to the king. James I was succeeded by Charles I. So after James I, Charles I came. Charles I or Charles I dissolved the parliament and ruled for 11 years without the parliament. After James I, Charles I came and he dissolved the parliament. Without the parliament, the king ruled for 11 years. 11 years he ruled. So, but in 1640, he needed money to fight some war. So he was forced to summon the parliament to get the special grant. The parliament continued 1640 to 1660. The long parliament decided to control the autocracy of the king and his minister. So at that time, he needed some money and monetary power that time parliament has. So what happened? Again he started in 1640 to 1660, the long parliament, it is called as a long parliament. Okay. The long parliament decided to control the autocracy of the king and the minister. The parliament punished the ministers and officers of Charles I. It stopped the working of special court created by the king. Charles I took the advantage of its difference between the parliament and tried to arrest his opponents in the parliament. So Charles I at that time, what happened? Charles I arrested the people, those who opposed him in the parliament. A civil war started between the parliamentary party and king's party. So naturally, there was a civil war between the king, with the king Charles I and the parliamentary members. Okay, of England, which lasted for 5 years. So the civil war lasted for 5 years. 5 years. However, the experiment of the Republican government was not very successful and did not last long. In 1688, William of Orange and his wife Mary were invited by the parliament to occupy the throne of England. So, as Charles I was defeated, okay, and executed, okay, write down Charles I was executed in 1649. He was executed in 1649. After that, in 1688, what happened? William of Orange and his wife Mary were invited to occupy the throne of England. Occupy the throne of England. In the new system of the government, ministers were answerable to the parliament. So a new system was started. According to the new system, what is that? Ministers were answerable to the parliament. So the king's ministers were there. They have to give the answer to the parliament. Okay. And the king had a limited power. So gradually the power of the king has been shortened or limited. Okay. This was the beginning of the parliamentary democracy in England. So up to that, the kings were ruling. Even though parliament was there, they have a meager power. But then after the occupying in 1688, William of Orange, okay, the king's power were decreased. This was the beginning of the parliamentary democracy, and now the power of the king of divine right, but it was granted by the parliament. This was called as a constitutional monarchy. So parliament with the king, it is called as a constitutional monarchy. All this took place without shedding a drop of blood or firing a single shot. Okay, so whatever the changes have been occurred in England, okay, so it occurred without shedding a one drop of blood also. Okay, this transformation therefore is known as glorious or bloodless revolution. So this changing is called as a bloodless revolution or glorious revolution. So This is called as a glorious revolution. After the revolution, the control came to into the hands of the House of Commons, which represented the middle class. So Parliament has got the power, and the middle class they got the power. In this period, only the people with land and property had the right to vote. So people means who? Not the common people. The people who is paying the tax and who had the right to vote, they got the power. The right to vote was gradually extended to different sections of the people and eventually to all the adults by 1928 in England. By 1928, all people got the voting right. Voting right. Okay, all people got the voting right. The parliamentary form of government grew its stage in England. So parliamentary form of government started. Up to that, the king was there, the parliament was there, that these things were, the powers were distributed. Okay, then let us go to the American War of Independence. American War of Independence. What is this American War of Independence? After Columbus discovered American continent in 1492. So Columbus discovered America in 1492. Okay, Columbus discovered America. So after that, England and other European countries had started its colonies on the eastern coast of North America by the middle of the 18th century. So European people started to go to the American continent. Okay, so Europeans means particularly England. Okay, 13 states had become the colonies of the British. So the British people had 13 colonies in America. 13 colonies were there of the Britishers there. 13 states had become the colonies of the British. Most of them were occupied by the people who wanted to be free and independent from England. They had moved to America and settled there to cultivate the land, run small workshops and conduct the trade. So these European people, particularly the British people, they came to America and they started the cultivation there, workshop there, small workshops. The English Parliament started forcing its power on those colonies by making law for the American state. So, as India was a colony of the Britishers, India was ruled according to the rules formulated by the British Parliament. Like that, the 13 colonies of America were ruled according to the rules formed by the British Parliament. The English Parliament started forcing, but the people of those states, they did not like it. Till 1750, American colonies were inhabited by the small and middle-sized farmer who owned the land and tilted it. So the Britishers, they occupied some land and they started to cultivate it. It also had a large number of artisans and traders. However, those colonies did not have any powerful landlord or princes as in Europe. So in these 13 colonies, there were no landlords just like European country or Europe. Thus, there was a degree of equality among the people. So people were living in an equal way. Equality was there. While most of the people were Christian, they belonged to different sects and each sect had its own church. So in America, in those days, different sects of Christians were there and each sect had their own churches. This meant that the priest did not have the same authority and the social positions as in Europe. So, as the Pope had a high influence in a European country, but here in America, Pope has no influence at that time. Many prominent Americans inspired and reinforced social equality in America. Many of them like Tom Paine. So, what are the name of the some American social reformers? Social reformers, write down. Social reformers of America. Social reformers of America. Tom Paine. Tom Paine. Tom Paine. Then Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson. So, like this type of social reformers actively campaigned for the political equality and freedom of thought for all the people. The British Parliament or English Parliament often passed a law and that favored the English people or English traders. So they wanted to support their own people, okay, British people. And the fact is, rather than American people of the colony, it did not help the American people. The American colonies therefore raised a slogan, no taxation without representation. So, what is the slogan? No taxation without representation. No taxation, because in the British Parliament there were no American representative. In 1774, representatives from the 12 colonies met at Congress at Philadelphia to protest against the British. So 1774 at Philadelphia, okay, the Congress, it is called as the Congress of Philadelphia, to protest against the British. They united. They requested the King George III to restore their previous rights, but the king refused to do so. So at that time in England, was there George III was there. They requested George III to give their powers, previous rights, but the king did not listen it. This led to the armed clashes between the British and the American soldiers. The Second Congress also tried to find a peaceful solution. They appealed to the king not to impose a tax without the representation, without the permission. So they appealed, they requested the king not to impose any tax without their permission. They decided George Washington to be the chief of the armed forces of the colonies. The king saw this as an act of rebellion and declared war. So there was a war started between American soldiers and versus British in the year 1775. The Americans finally won the war in October 1781. After 6 years of war, okay, Americans they won the war with the military help of France. So France has helped America against the England people. France helped the colony because of the rivalry between Britain and France. There was a rivalry. Was going there between the enmity was going there between British and France. So France helped Americans establishing colonies, and the American War of Independence ended after the Britain signed the Treaty of Paris in 1773. Write down the Treaty of Paris. The Treaty of Paris was signed. Paris was signed in 1783 between England and America. Hence, the American War of Independence was ended there. Oh, even though 1781 they won the war, okay, and recognized the independence of its 13 states. So, England granted the recognition to this 13 colonies of America as free or independent. Then after, the very important thing is the declaration, American War of Independence, the declaration of American independence. What is this declaration of independence? Listen here. The Declaration of Independence was adopted on, write down, the Declaration of Independence was adopted in on 4th July 1776. 4th July 1776. Okay. During the Third Congress of Philadelphia, Thomas Jefferson was the author of this declaration. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson wrote it. It declared that all men are created equal and are endowed by the Creator with a certain right. So he has written in the American Declaration of Independence that every man has created with equal. That means every man are equal, and the God has given the certain rights which cannot be taken away, including life, liberty, and pursuit the happiness. So, in 1789, the government of United States of America adopted a Republican Constitution. So, America became a republic in 1789. So, what is a republic? The country which has an elected head is called as a republic. Republican Constitution, the United States of America would not be ruled by the kings but by representatives. So, since then, America became a republic and ruled by the people of their own country. Okay, I think you have understood the topic today, introduction, glorious revolution and American War of Independence. Then in the next class we are going to discuss about the French Revolution, which is very important in the world history. Okay, I will send you the textbook copies. You go through it and some of the important main points of this lesson. Thank you.